Hi, this is Robert Redfern, the Serrapeptase guy. Anybody that's known me for the last 23 years that I've been involved with natural health knows that I'm a cynic. I'm a cynic about orthodox medicine, I'm a cynic about natural medicine. There are so many snake oils around. People make all sorts of extravagant claims about this nutrient and that nutrient, this wonder fruit and this crazy, amazing fruit. I have to see it for my own eyes. And when I came across Serrapeptase 10 years ago, I checked it out very carefully, I gave it to lots of people, and I wanted to see it with my own eyes that it really did do its job. And it does an amazing job. I wrote a book on it called Serrapeptase, and everything seemed great, wonderful, but then something changed my life because I found that Serrapeptase is just more amazing than I ever thought possible. And so I renamed the book The Miracle Enzyme. When I renamed it The Miracle Enzyme, people said, "Robert, why are you making such extravagant claims?" And I said, well, this really is miraculous now, and here's the story why. The story goes back 40 years ago in a city in Virginia in the USA called Alexandria. And a guy called Mike Tawse was born there to an unmarried mother. This is what he was told anyway, because you'll hear why in a minute. But his mother couldn't afford to look after him because he was born with cerebral palsy. That's a condition where the brain is damaged at birth. And so she did the best she could for him and took him up to Canada, where they had free healthcare, and he was fostered for, I think it was about 18 months in Canada. Then a nurse, an English nurse that was working in Canada, said she wanted to adopt Mike, and so she took him back to England and adopted him, and Mike was brought up in England. And that was fine, and she, brought him up, and he went to college. But he was having great difficulties, especially with his eyesight, because all of his life he hadn't really been able to see properly, and it was quite difficult in those days to get the support you needed. But then, Mike left college and he became quite sick because of the side effects of the cerebral palsy, and also the drugs that he was on now. By now, doctors started giving him drugs for the side effects of the cerebral palsy, they say. And so life didn't get very good for Mike. I'm going to jump forward now to when he was 36, 4 years ago in 2006. And Mike was in his apartment in the city of Manchester in England, living alone. He had some good friends, and his health was so bad, he was on 14 drugs, and the doctors were just absolutely at their wits' end what was going to help him. His heart and lungs were failing, and his friends were so concerned they were planning his funeral. They didn't tell him then, but they told him later when he recovered. Luckily, he came across Serrapeptase. His friends came across it first, they told him about it, and between them they did some research, and they found me on the internet, and they found my radio shows about Serrapeptase, and they said, well, this is worth a try, so they gave it a try. Within days, Mike started to change. His lungs, which were failing completely, started to clear. Within a few weeks, his lungs were clear and he was breathing perfectly. Within a month or so, he was off all of the drugs. With the permission of the doctors, they would just amaze the doctors that anybody could recover so fast from being at death's door with so many problems, and obviously the cerebral palsy is the basis of these problems. And so Mike literally was on the road to recovery. He contacted the office that sells the Serrapeptase, and they contacted me, and I was on the radio in America at the time when I got this message, and I actually spoke about it on the radio because I thought it was miraculous that a person could have such a recovery in such a short time, because even though I'd seen some wonderful stories, they were just things that were believable, and this became unbelievable. I went to see Mike Tawse at his apartment, and Mike is just an amazing fellow, and in fact he's become a friend of mine now over the years, and I've worked with him to improve his life excuse me, in all areas. I added Serrapeptase, more Serrapeptase to what he was already taking, and I introduced curcumin to him and MaxiFocus. So all of his subsequent recovery over the last 4 years has not been solely to Serrapeptase, but Serrapeptase was the springboard to everything recovering. Jump forward now to 2009. Mike's 40 years of age now. He didn't expect to see 2007, but now in 2009, he's 40 years of age. He's got a life ahead of him. He's going to the gym 3 times a week, which is, you know, I mean, more than I do. I need to go to the gym more. He can now see. He can now see beautiful scenery when he goes out into the countryside. Not seen it in first time in 40 years. That's why I renamed the book The Miracle Enzyme. That's why I call Serrapeptase the Miracle Enzyme. That's why Mike Tawse is the Miracle Enzyme guy. This is Robert Redfern, the Serrapeptase guy, signing off with another great story to come tomorrow. Take care and goodbye.